All right, everyone, welcome to today's live stream. It is Monday, December 8th, 2025. Hope you're doing great. I'm your host, Jaden Sterling, founder of Sterling Stock Picker. Welcome to all of you. We're so grateful to have your support. It's been an amazing year, adding 3,500 new. I just chuckle because it's just been such a phenomenal year for us, and having your support means the world to us. So thank you for that. Let's talk a little bit about earnings. Kind of a slow week. Nothing really too much happening this week in terms of big earnings. Most notable for our community, I think, is GameStop coming out after the close tomorrow. You know, they've really changed their whole entire business model these last few years. They've closed a lot of their non-performing retail stores. They reduced their debt. They started becoming more of like almost a SPAC company, a special acquisition corporation, where they started buying shares of, what did they pick up? Shares of Alibaba. Took a huge position in Alibaba, which has performed well this year. And it's just been interesting following their the iterations that they've been making in their business model. So I'm really interested in seeing what type of earnings they're going to post for tomorrow afternoon, or tomorrow evening after the close. And let's see, we got Oracle, Adobe, Broadcom Thursday after close, and Lululemon as well. So not a whole lot going on, but some very interesting companies that we're going to be watching closely, and I'll be following up with you all next week on GameStop's earnings, since so many of us have that shares of that company. So we've got silver, gold down slightly today. Markets are down across the board. Let me just double check. Where are we with the markets? Gold market down $10, silver down 30 cents. Platinum up, big move in platinum today. Look at that, up $10.59. Palladium up $15.25. So it's interesting. The precious metals that have been really ripping higher, pulling back a little bit today. Wait, I just realized you can't see those numbers. There you go. And the ones that have been kind of laggards, platinum, palladium, making a big move today. So I'm still a huge, as you know, huge advocate for precious metals, particularly gold and silver. Silver especially, just so many factors, so many variables at play here. But we also know it's extremely manipulated in terms of the price. And I just find this interesting. So it looks like spot is 58.09 right now. Let me take a look at what we're seeing for the futures price for silver. Here we go, 58.36. So interesting. Up until now, there's been this backwardation where the futures contracts were above spot, which actually, yeah, that is still the case, isn't it? 58.36, where the spot price was above futures, and that has shifted now. So there's no more backwardation. The futures contract is actually higher than spot for silver. I haven't checked gold yet, but silver that's kind of been the narrative too up until now, is look at this backwardation where there's a shift in the pricing here from futures to spot price, and spot up until recently, like as recent as last Friday, spot has been higher than the futures price for silver, which was a huge indicator of an absolute rip-roaring asset, right? Because if the spot price, what you can sell it and buy it for today, is higher than the future price, you just know something's going on. So that has shifted, not a lot. You know, it's like if the futures is at 58, let me refresh my screen. get an updated quote here for silver, but same 58.36. And spot is at 58.07, very, very close. So they're just kind of neck and neck there in terms of pricing. But that still doesn't change the fact that there's a huge shortage of silver. If all of, what did I hear the other day? Every contract or every ounce of silver is spoken for by a factor of 387. So 387 times that same ounce of silver has been spoken for by ETFs, futures contracts. There are so many financial derivatives that are impacting the ability to be converted to silver. If every single futures holders decided they want to take physical possession, not paper profit from silver, there clearly is not enough silver to cover those positions. So there's countries that have stopped selling silver. There's just a lot going on here. But, I was thinking about this movement in silver, and we know it's going higher. Like, yes, it's doubled this year already, but it is definitely going higher. And what we're going to see, the challenge we're going to have is, it's like one of those, be careful what you ask for. I think it's going to impact because it's a raw material going into so many different products. It's in every EV, it's in solar panels, it's in your computers, it's on your phone. Like it has so many applications that I'm wondering, what do you all think? Tell me in the chat, but I'm wondering, like, are we going to see an increase in these things too, right? That would really lend itself to this a narrative around hyperinflation. It just kind of makes sense. If the cost of raw goods is going up, and wouldn't the price of that, that end product be higher as well? Now, I know, there's not a lot of silver used in a lot of these things, but nevertheless, it's still it's a commodity priced into all of these different applications. So I think it might have an effect. We'll see, right? It just remains to be seen. Here's look how volatile the price of silver has been just from today's price action. The high today, $58.99. It has not crossed that $60 mark and dropped quite a bit, like some big spikes down in the low 58 range. We're sitting right now at 58.30, 31. So I think we're going to continue to see this choppy momentum with silver. And, it's a push-pull thing until there's a breakout. And we don't know when that's going to be. There's just no way of anticipating that. But I think chances are good by end of year, we're going to see $65 an ounce US for silver. That's my best guess there for the price. All right. Like I've talked about, this market is all over the place. Like I'm calling it the bouncy castle market because it's just going, up and down and whipsawing everywhere. Dow down big, almost 300 points today. NASDAQ down 90. That's been up at one point earlier today, but down again now. Certainly has been down lower than it is. So how do you make money in this market? You got to be super selective. That's rule number one right now, is super selective, and go back to the charts. Charts are the thing that will really help you determine if a stock is a buy, sell, hold, or avoid. And so let me frame this for you. Let me get this whole chart into the frame so you can see a little better. Okay, so now, if I hover over the stock here, we've got the price below some averages, but we've got green above red. And as you can see, the price of the stock, 220, is right in between the EMA 15 and the SMA 15. So that is what I call threading. When a stock moves, now if it continues to move above it and hold that above the EMA 15, it's got to break that EMA 15. we have a threading indication and the stock will move higher. So there's that going for it. And also look at that MFI 39.32 currently. That is technically in the buy range for AMD. So we've got a 4-star ranking on it. I really don't think you can go wrong here. It's kind of like buying the stock back in early October at this level. October 7th is where it was, just, right around here, that level a few months ago. So it's had its big moves, the up and down moves. But here it's poised to break out. And again, if it can push through that EMA 15, that 221 mark, hold it and move higher, I think we have a real nice breakout stock here, at least back to the previous highs of 264-ish. First stop could be easily 240. There's big strength here. Once it gets above all these averages, then it's off to the races. So that is my pick for the week, is AMD. And again, we're going to be watching earnings closely for GameStop, GME ticker symbol. Let's keep an eye on that. That stock has really, it's been interesting watching this stock. 2 summers ago, I was a big buyer of this stock, and I didn't hold on to it just because, look at the chart here. Like, it has just done nothing but go down. Like, it's got some bounce to it. When it hit 35, that was a nice move, May of this year, May 27th. But other than that, it's consolidated, moved up slightly. You had a nice pop here from 22 to 27, but not much. And then the downward spiral down to $20, sitting right now of just, look at that. SMA 200 is in its sights at 24.46. Stock's at 23.19. Finally has moved above all its moving averages. You've got the MFI at 63. This might be interesting. I really like that the RSI, the relative strength indicator, is at 77, well above the MFI. This could be an interesting play here. If it can hold this level and has decent earnings. Again, this stock right now is based on earnings. Let's take a look at the options. I'm just curious. I haven't looked at these today in terms of what we could potentially be seeing for this stock this week because of an earnings situation. Why are the calls not loading? I don't know what's going on here. Calls. Let's see if straddles will load. Okay, so straddles are up. As you know, the straddles combines calls and puts. And the 2350s are at 91 cents. So what we do with that is you divide 91 cents by the 2350. So 0.91 divided by 23.5. So current yield on that is 3.8%. What a yield. Really, really positive. So that is a really good indication that the market thinks the stock is going higher because there's so much baked into that particular contract. So as you know, like if you were a holder of this stock and you sold the 2350s for this Friday expiry, you would receive 91 cents per contract. Again, that's a 3.8% yield, super high. Which is a really good indicator that the market is looking for positive earnings out of GameStop. So there you have it. It looks like the market is expecting good earnings from here. Maybe this is really the thing that this stock needs to see to get to this next level. It could very well be. So we'll see. But it still has headwind ahead of it with the SMA 200 at 24.5. And it's got to get through that, right? As you know, that acts as resistance, not support. Support only after it gets through and holds above that 200 moving day average. So if you're interested in when I talk about options, if you're not sure about options, or if you've never used them as a strategy, please reach out to me. We're starting a new cohort early next year. We are half full. It's going to be a great group that we've got. We've got 4 alumni coming back who've already taken it and they want to keep going. So they're going to prove very helpful for folks who are new to the program. They're awesome people. I think you'll enjoy them. And then we've added a few more new people as well. So if options are new to you, or if you're, like well-versed in options, we'd love to have you be a part of it. It's more than options. What we do is select, I'll share with you every week, I come to the table with stocks that we're buying. I share the trades in terms of how many shares we're buying, and then what option contracts that go with that stock purchase. So some weeks we might be selling leaps, we might be selling covered calls, but the idea is to bring enough premium into your portfolio to cover your tuition, because we have a tuition money back guarantee. We make sure that you cover the fees that you're paying to learn. And so far, thankfully, I've never had to reimburse anyone because we've made so much money in this program. It is a year long. If you're interested in learning more, just reach out to us either through this platform in the comment section, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Have a fantastic week, everyone, and I'll see you next Monday.